What's going on, YouTube family? So last night on the stream, I had a viewer by the name of vanhamilton1527, also known to me as my good friend Frank, also known to many on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, anywhere you get your music as Console Command. Please go check out their channel. Frank makes incredible music. He's an amazing musician. If you love video game music and you like metal, you're gonna love his stuff. Anyway, last night on the stream, I have a channel point reward called tier list, which means I stop what I'm doing and I make a tier list out of anything that you want. Well, I couldn't actually fit it in on the stream last night because it took a lot of finagling, but I'm proud to present Frank's requested tier list, the Final Fantasy Japanese box art 1 through 15, all the mainline entries, and we're going to make a tier list from oof to affiliate to partner to top priority to the Ninja Fortnite tier. The Ninja Fortnite and the Oof tier are something that I added. I tried my very best to get all of the original Japanese box art. Some of it may not be right. You guys will have to tell me in the comments. I'm sure somebody will tell me in the comments. That always happens. It's YouTube, right? That's how it works. But we're going to rank these because I've never seen a lot of them. I just gathered the photos, and this is what Frank asked for. So Frank's going to get it. Enjoy. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with what I can remember as the order. The photos kind of got uploaded in a strange order here, but I believe this one is Final Fantasy 1. Looking at the box art for Final Fantasy 1, it's kind of hard to tell what the game is about, but it has that really nice, like, old school fantasy illustration vibe to it. So for right now, I'm going to put Final Fantasy 1. I would say it's like solid box art, but it's not the best thing I've ever seen, so I'm going to put it like, it's not an oof. I'd say it's more like a partner. It's got some prestige to it. Yeah, I think we'll go with partner here. All right, so next is Final Fantasy 2. You can tell because of the 2 on the cover. Slightly more mysterious than the last one. It looks like they're sticking with the old school fantasy illustration vibes, so I'm going to say that Final Fantasy 2 is up there in the partner category. I don't know why, maybe it's just personal choice, but I really like old school fantasy illustration. I think it's pretty cool. The problem with me, like the reason it's not top priority or Ninja Fortnite category, I don't really know what the game's about. I know it's a dude with a sword and it says fantasy on it, but I need some more. I'd love to see like a villain or something on the cover. So Final Fantasy 2 partner status. Congratulations to Final Fantasy 2. So next one is Final Fantasy 3, and this time we have a human being with 2 swords. That's how you know it's a little bit different. That's how you know they've kind of got their act together. First we had 1 sword, then we had 1 sword in front of the face, and now we got 2 swords in an attack position. I would say that this one is definitely top priority. Of course, it's super badass. We don't know a lot about the game, and that was one of my complaints with the Final Fantasy 2 box art, but I'm just going for it. I'm going for it. I like this one a lot. It speaks to me for some reason. I've never played Final Fantasy 3 all the way through, but this seems about right for how awesome it is. All right, next is Final Fantasy 4. Which one are you? So just taking a look at the box art here, we can see that we've got the villain, we've got a very washed out, what I assume is the hero. The hero has kind of ended up looking the same in all of the illustrations. Again, we got the classic watercolor illustration vibe. It's really cool. I love the way that they included the villain. I wish it wasn't so washed out. Like I wish that and maybe that's just the image that I found, but I would have to say that this one's definitely top priority as well. That's top tier box art. We get the villain, we get some extra details in the background. They've definitely learned. This has some very classic like movie marketing to it. You want everything to go in like a triangle. You want everything to be pointing up. It's a very positive marketing thing. This really works for me. So yeah, we're definitely going with top priority. This is a top priority box art. All right. Final Fantasy V, so we're a third of the way through. This box art, again, classic watercolor illustration kind of stuff. I really like that vibe. Wish the games had more like the hand-drawn feel to them nowadays, at least the box art kind of thing. I really like this one. There's a lot more detail than there have been in the other ones, or than there has been in the other ones. In the past box arts, we've seen kind of a solitary hero, but the Final Fantasy games are all about the party, all about the group, all about the turn-based strategy and manipulating and controlling that group to the best outcome. And this box art finally shows us the group dynamic. We get to see a little bit of everybody's personality and the way that they're sitting, and I don't know, we get some really cool details. It looks like it's a ship, maybe in the air, maybe in the sea. We can't really tell, but there's a lot of detail to this one. I'm giving this one top priority, at least for right now. You know what? I'd even go as far to say I almost want to. It's right on the edge of Ninja Fortnite for me. So far, it's the best cover that I've seen. You know what? This makes me want to like reevaluate the whole tier list. I think. Okay, let's reevaluate it, right? Let's reevaluate. Let's get. So now we've got 5 of them in here. We can start moving things around between tiers. Just looking at these, I would say that out of all of them, Final Fantasy II is the weakest for me. It doesn't really work. It's very like horizontal. It doesn't really tell me much about anything. So I'm gonna actually put this one down to affiliate because I like Final Fantasy 1's box art because it's got some detail to it that I just think, I don't know, Final Fantasy 2 is a little bit too mysterious for me, so we're going to put it at affiliate. I don't think it really deserves that partner spot. Looking at Final Fantasy 3, I think, I don't think it's necessarily top priority. It is really, really cool, but compared to all the other ones, I just can't put it up there with something like Final Fantasy 5. We're gonna move 3 down to a partner, not necessarily affiliate. I think it's good. I can't get behind it. I think it needs something more. I want more to it. Now we're taking a look at Final Fantasy 6. This is the game I'm actually currently playing through right now. Looking at this box art is kind of crazy. Again, we have that stark white background, but this time we have a ton of detail. It shows us a little bit about the world. We know that this time we're dealing with things like something mechanical, something technology oriented. I really like how they've started to put more and more colors into the Final Fantasy text itself. I don't know, I just really, somehow all of the pointy objects and all the point, like it seems dangerous. It seems like a quest that not many would undertake, and I'm really, really digging this. I would say that this is up there with Final Fantasy V. So there we go. We're going to go top priority for Final Fantasy VI. I'm actually thinking I want to move 5 up to the Ninja Fortnite, like must love, must play category just based on the box art. I'd say both of these are top tier box arts. But let's go a little further and see if we change our mind. Okay, the next one, of course, is Final Fantasy VII, the classic Final Fantasy VII. This is, of course, the American box art, because you can see the rated T for teen logo, but the Japanese one looks just the same. Looking at this box art now, maybe if I was younger, there's always been something about Final Fantasy VII's box art that didn't really do it for me. And I don't know what that is. It just seems a little washed out. I love the game. I've played the game several times, but the box art just seems lame. It seems like it needs more. At this point in the series, you're 7 entries in and you had the Final Fantasy VI cover. I don't know. This one's got to be like, I mean, it's cool. It's, you know, it's got the 3D graphics on it. That's really neat, but it gives us no information. It gives no excitement to me because everything's so washed out. This is going to be a controversial opinion, but I think this box art is jank. I'm going to put it in the affiliate category, and y'all can roast me however you want in the comments, but that's my truth. I had to speak it. Final Fantasy VIII. I have played this game. I really, really enjoyed it. I can't remember if I beat it. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm pretty sure I beat it. So obviously we're sticking with the 3D graphics now. Final Fantasy is finally into the 3D side of things, that they're leaning into it hard because Final Fantasy VII was such a hit. We can see a couple of edgy boys in the on the cover. We can see some sort of godlike figure in the background. Again, this doesn't, I don't know, like Final Fantasy started leaning more towards like just like vague character things, like characters with no expression and vague backgrounds, and I'm missing the old school Final Fantasy box art here. This seems kind of plain, seems like it's kind of lacking. It looks more like a 1990s teen soap opera or something. This one's gonna go into the affiliate category for me as well. It's kind of up there with Final Fantasy VII. It's like, cool, you have nice 3D renderings of your characters, but it doesn't get me excited about the game. All right, Final Fantasy IX. I've heard a lot of people say that this is one of their favorite Final Fantasies of all time, but what I'm going to go ahead and do is put this in the oof category just right away. The character expressions are dumb. The character models look bad. Like, look at that hair on the right side. What is that? What is that hairstyle? No. Dude in the background, grumpy expression. This box art does nothing for me. All it shows is that we're 9 entries in, and they've decided to take basically all of the personality of the world building of Final Fantasy, and they've decided to just create some janky, funky looking characters to get you interested. I really wish they had stuck with the world building on the cover to pull me in. Here, they don't do it. This game might be great. I might be misinterpreting something, but this game makes me think, okay, cool, this is a children's video game. Whereas the old school Final Fantasy covers were like, this is awesome. You're going on a grand adventure. Nothing about this seems grand. This seems like a kid's book. Moving on. Final Fantasy X. Okay, this one, we're still in the 3D era, but we're finally on the PS2, so the graphics are a little bit better. We can see main character on the cover. He's got a dope sword. California surfer dude vibe to it. He's standing in the water. It's very Kingdom Hearts. Obviously, Kingdom Hearts had a lot based on Final Fantasy X. You can see the airship in the background. You can see like a lot more stuff in the background here to kind of give you a feel of the world. We know we're going to be on like more of a coastal setting. Like we know what we're playing here. We know what the vibe of the game is going to be mostly throughout our whole experience, right? Like right off the bat, we know all of that. Whereas Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9, you couldn't really get a feel of the world like you could in the other box arts. And I know a lot of people don't like this box art, but I've always really enjoyed the colors. So I think color-wise, composition-wise, I think it's good. I wish it wasn't tilted, but you know, whatever. They were going for an edgy look, I guess. So I'm going to put Final Fantasy X at the partner status. Maybe a lot of people will disagree, but that's just how I feel. Final Fantasy XI. So this one, I don't even know. Like there were so many editions with the box art that I didn't know which one to exactly choose. So I just chose this one. Doesn't tell me a whole lot about the game. It's kind of bare. It does show me a lot of medieval figures. The crow is kind of cool. We see a lot of weapons, a lot of dynamic poses from characters. We know this one's online, so we're probably getting MMO experience out of it. I don't know. There's something about this that's just there's too little here. There's not enough. Like Final Fantasy VII, even though it had a similar like white background, almost no information on it, there was still something. This one is just kind of like, whatever, you'll buy it. And so this goes in the oof category along with Final Fantasy IX, but for different reasons. All right, Final Fantasy XII. I've never played this one myself. I really like this box art. Like, yeah, the characters look a little janky. All of them kind of have the same face if you look at it for too long. Maybe that's part of the story. I'm not 100% sure. We can see that it's made more like a movie poster than anything else. You can see all the airships in the background. You get a little bit of the world underneath. The characters look ready for action. You can tell this is like a really solid like sci-fi action adventure sort of thing. I really like this. The colors are a little funky. The blue and yellow has never really worked for me, but I still think that this box art is like solid. It's like rock solid. If you were gonna market a movie, a TV show, anything like that with this poster, I think you'd be fine. I don't know. This one just does it for me. It has a nice punch to it. So I'm gonna put this one in the partner status. Again, all of these games, you guys, all of these box arts are gonna be in their categories for different reasons because all of them are so different. Even if the styles may look similar, like the styles are similar, but the composition is different. So composition wise, like some of these are just awesome. This has been actually very interesting so far. All right, Final Fantasy 13. This is gonna probably go in the oof category just right away, and I'll tell you guys why. Same reasons as Final Fantasy 11. Like there's just no information here. Sure, we get like a cool sort of logo. It's going back to the watercolor style of the first few box arts. It's pretty, but it gives me no information. I have no idea what kind of experience I'm going to get when I pick this game up. I'm kind of told to just trust the name here, and so that's what I don't love about it. It just kind of assumes that you have some experience with the series, but somebody picking it up for the first time is given no information. Whereas something like Final Fantasy 12, you could see like a ton of characters, a ton of world. Final Fantasy 6, Final Fantasy 5, you could see characters, pieces of the world. That's what I'm really into. So Final Fantasy 13, thumbs down. All right, Final Fantasy 13 2, I'm not sure if this is mainline. I think it is. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm doing it anyway. The Japanese box art is very different from the North American box art here. Here you can see that they're going for that watercolor style, but they're kind of eliminating some of the color to it. Somehow that makes it punchier, I guess, in their mind. It's more information than Final Fantasy 13's original box art, but it still doesn't tell me much. I think having characters on the screen or on the cover is better than what we got with 13. So for that reason, I'm gonna put it in affiliate, but I'm really tempted to put it in oof. It's just kind of boring. Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13. This is the Japanese box art here, and we can see a huge departure from the previous entries in the 13 trilogy. With this one, it looks like they're going more for the North American vibe here, or at least the box art of the North American versions of the games. We see Lightning, we see that she's fully decked out. If we've played the other entries, which I guess they're kind of assuming that you have at this point, Lightning's fully decked out in different armor. She looks more serious, she looks ready to take on the challenges ahead. It's kind of cool, it's very well rendered, it's really pretty, the colors are awesome. I don't know, I can't not give this one partner, just because the cover is so appealing. It's something I want to have on my bookshelf. It doesn't tell me much about the game, but it's at least an attempt at giving you something that you're excited to look at. Like, aside from all the other ones that are in the affiliate and the oof category, which are just kind of bland and boring, this one doesn't give us a lot of information about the game, but it tells you something about the journey that the character's been on, and I think that's worth a partner. All right, Final Fantasy XIV Online. So this one had a rocky history. There's a ton of covers. I chose the first one on Google Images that I could find that had the Japanese rating and text on it. So right away we can see it's a very busy cover, and this is an MMO, right? Player base of this game is still insanely high. They have a bunch of expansions, right? So this is from the, like, when they rebooted the game, right? Because this game was a disaster when it came out. This is the reboot, and I think that it should be judged on the reboot because it's what the game is now. But, you know, that's another discussion for the comment section. But I really like this box art because it's busy like an MMO, and Final Fantasy XIV is a very busy MMO. Maybe it's on the verge of too busy. I almost wish that they would just drop the white background, but we can see that they're going for the watercolor styling, maybe a more modern take on the old school 90s watercolor style of things. And I really like that. It gives a bunch of dynamic poses. It shows you it's a game that's always in flux. I don't know, I like this cover. Maybe it's a little bit too busy for me, but I like it. And for that reason, I'm going to put it in partner for now. Maybe we'll come back to it in a minute. Okay, and the last mainline entry in the series is Final Fantasy 15, of course. Great game. I never finished it, but I played a lot of it. This is the Japanese box art, and I really like it a lot. I think it shows you that the characters all have different personalities. You got the big burly guy, you got the dude in the car who's like, come on guys, we got the mission to do. And then you have just the carefree spirits. You can see that the world is big. You can see it's going to be a big game. They show you the main functions of the game, like the car, the camping supplies. They show you everything that's going to be important in the game right on the cover. A straight path down the middle towards the, I don't know, I didn't get that far, but like the ruins, or towards like a city that's got a structure like nothing we've seen before. You know, having that one line in the center that goes straight to the horizon. It's just clever composition. It's good. It draws your eye into it. So immediately I'm looking towards the journey. I'm looking past the box art. I'm going right down that road, and I want to be with them along the way. And I don't know, there's something about this that's really, really awesome. So I'm going to put this one in partner as well. Okay, so now I've got everything in the top priority, partner, affiliate, and oof categories, but I haven't put anything in the Ninja Fortnite category, and the Ninja Fortnite category is reserved for my favorite one, the one that I would drop everything to look at a million times over. Looking back through all of these again right now, I can tell you guys that my favorite ones are probably Final Fantasy VI, and maybe I'm biased because I'm playing that right now. I like Final Fantasy V a lot. I think it's just gorgeous art. I hate pretty much everything in the oof category, so we're not even going to talk about that. Lightning Returns is up there for me as well. I think the colors are great. Final Fantasy XII took me by surprise, though. My favorite. You know what? It's Final Fantasy V. And haters gonna hate, but I think that Final Fantasy V, you know what, I'm even gonna do this. Final Fantasy V and 6 have the best box art for me. I'm gonna go ahead and move 15 up to top priority because I think that it's a really, really well-designed cover. Also, one that took me by surprise was 12, like I said, so I'm gonna move 12 up to top priority as well, and I'll keep everything pretty much where it is. I think that that's exactly how I feel. A series with 18 mainline entries, you're gonna have more things in the middle. That's just how it's gonna be. 15, 12, and 4 had really excellent composition. Lightning Returns is up there for me, but I can't bring myself to move it to top priority just because the other ones offer so much more. But yeah, that's what I think. Frank, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was for you, my friend. Thank you for redeeming those channel points and always being such an awesome friend and an awesome viewer. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more stuff like this, definitely be sure to check out the Twitch stream. You can redeem a tier list of your choice. I will make one for you, and I'm gonna put it on YouTube just for you. I'll let you know when it's out. It can be any topic you want. I just ask that it be Twitch and YouTube terms of service friendly, of course. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm sure you hear that every day on YouTube. But other than that, I will see you guys every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Twitch. Peace.